Hello, everybody in the atmosphere. I just want to let you know that you are welcome here. That was kind of corny, but I liked it, so I went with it. But I am here. Welcome to Water Me Media. I am Deshauna, by the way. If you have never met me or heard me speak before, I go by Dash. I really like it. So there's not. Everybody always asks me, like, where'd you get Dash from? And really, it's just from the first four letters of my name. But so I wanted to make this video because on my Water Me Media page, I think that it gets a little misconstrued, what I do, what am I trying to do, what is my business, and so I kind of just wanted to start off with the basic, which is my business is called Water Me Media. The reason for that is because through my water, I watered myself and I have blossomed and transformed into this person where I'm very confident, and I realize the effect that I have on other people and how I can help them also go through that similar transformation that I went through. And I'm very new at it, I'm very fresh at it, and I haven't mastered it, so I'm not like a master health coach, but that is something that I am attempting, and that's kind of what a health coach is helping people find their true health and helping them transition and blossom into that. A major thing that I like to say is I don't want to help anybody be like anybody else. So if you are interested in working with me and getting to your true health, I would just say be prepared to have your layers peeled back, have your layers revealed to yourself and me. And it's really about trusting and really wanting this transformation. So I just want to start off with that. But what I want to talk about today is about the definition of health. I've been hearing this word and people use it and throw it around a lot, but I feel like it's not encompassed the way that it should. It's not used in the way that it should. A lot of words lately have been being watered down, and we cannot dilute our vocabulary. It's just, no, we cannot do that. It's very important that we use the correct words and the correct terminology, or else what we are trying to say is not going to be understood. The main point of conversating or asking questions is to get to clarity. So we want to keep it clear. We don't want to keep it diluted. I know dilution is clear because it's water, but you know what I'm trying to say. We want to keep our vocabulary on point so that what we're saying means exactly what we should be saying when we're trying to portray. Sometimes I use a little bit of extra words like I'm doing now because I could probably simplify everything I'm saying into less words, but this is just who I am. I say too much. Anyways, so health. So the actual definition of health is, I said health with an F. The actual definition of health is the overall wellness of your spirituality, of your emotions, of your physical body, of your social circle, and your mental, like it, all of those. So let me just say it one more time. So your spirituality, your social life, your physical body, your emotional self, and I forgot that last one. Give me 1 second. I always forget. Emotional. How could I forget? Very important. So with that being said, a lot of people like to think that they are healthy because they go to the gym. Or a lot of people like to think that they are healthy because they've changed their diet. But I would just like to say that it's not to discredit your journey and your growth, because it takes great determination and great strength and great belief to follow through with the workout regimen to get consistent to build that habit, as well as eating right. That is huge. That is major. But we have to also understand that health has several, not necessarily several because it's just 5 different aspects that need to be fulfilled in order to have an overall I'm gonna get it together to have an overall actual wellness and to be able to say I am healthy. And that's what I mean. Just you want to be really good at expressing and acknowledging your emotions. You don't want to hold them in. You don't want to dance around them, and you don't want to ignore them. This is very important that you acknowledge your emotions. That is a major part of being human. Emotions are just chemical reactions of experiences and thoughts. And that's a whole other concept that we can get into, but I'm not going to get into that. But I just want you to understand that what we feel is supposed to be felt, whether it's a negative, societal condemned negative emotion, or whether it is a happy emotion, that you should feel those, you should understand them and where they come from. That way you're not acting from a place of emotion. And sometimes emotions are temporary, so you have to be really careful not to make long-term decisions off of temporary emotions. And that's why emotional control and emotional intelligence is a part of health. Oh, well said, Deshauna. Proud of myself for that. And so we can move on to the next aspect, which is spirituality. And spirituality doesn't mean that you have to be religious or that you have to follow a specific religion or believe in a specific thing. It really just means that you are in tune with yourself. You listen to your intuition, which is natural. It's really about getting back to nature and connecting with nature and the many different ways that there are for you to connect to nature. One way that I try to help other people understand how connected we are in nature is we breathe in oxygen to live. And the only thing, not the only thing, I'm not going to say that because I'm not a scientist, but one of the main things that provides us with oxygen are trees. Now, we breathe in oxygen and release CO2. And it just so happens that trees breathe out oxygen and breathe in CO2. So if you see, no, you don't have to see it. You can just, you know this, that we have the opposite reaction, but we work together. Because without them, we wouldn't have the oxygen we need, and without them, they wouldn't have the CO2 that they need. If that makes sense. And that's very interconnected with nature. That's a tree is a natural thing. A human being is a natural thing. And we are so interconnected that we rely on trees and trees rely on us. Like, how amazing is that? And that's just one of the thousands and thousands of connections that we have. So anyhow, and so that's spirituality. Yeah, you really want to get back to nature and get connected to nature, because that's where everything stems from, and that's where all the essentials are. All the essentials that we need as human beings are invisible, because it comes from, not necessarily invisible, but less materialistic and less tangible sometimes, and that's where spirituality comes in. You can find that through listening to yourself, doing shadow work, asking yourself, why are you the way that you are? Why do you do what you do? And as you do that, you kind of just get more into yourself and more listen to your intuition, and you start to realize signs and patterns, and you start to build that connection on your own, whichever way it goes, with whoever, with whatever religion, if that be your thing, and just build that and understand it and get comfortable with it. That is a spirituality aspect. So now we can move, we said spirituality and emotional, so we can do mental. Mental is extremely important. The mind is a very complex place and thing. It's not even a place, but it is, because it's inside of our head and inside of our bodies. But it's also attached to our souls. So being mentally ill is hard. It's extremely hard. It's hard to explain. It's hard to go through. It's hard to feel. And sometimes it can be hard to manage, and it can be hard to diagnose, because there's such a large spectrum. We're in a society where we have so many thoughts and so many things that we're digesting, and information that it's our brains all over the place. But what I'm trying to say with just mental is getting to a place where you understand your own mind, how the brain works, connecting with your emotions, to really understand the thought process. Thoughts are extremely powerful. Everything began from a thought. Everything. Even just me starting this video, that began from a thought. And now here it is in a physical form for you to watch me literally process my thoughts out loud, because this is not scripted. This is not written down. This is literally just me speaking from what I know, also what I'm curious about, because I'm not an expert. Like I said, I'm just practicing. I'm sorry to have spit. And you can, as you watch this, I'm going to keep it raw. I'm going to keep it real. I do edit, but I don't practice. And what I usually keep so you can see how natural it is. Right now, I'm going on 9 minutes. I hope you guys are still listening. I got just 3 more of the health aspects to go through. But yeah, I'm going to try to keep it under 15 minutes, because I don't want to just be talking y'all's ear off. But I appreciate y'all for listening, if you are listening, when you do listen. Welcome to Water Me Media. Here we water ourselves and each other, so bear with me. So yeah, we were just talking about mental and how important mental is in the aspect of health. You want to get your mind right. Like I said, everything begins with a thought. I didn't begin working out without thinking about I wanted to work out. And one of the main things that helped me keep working out through doing it is seeing my future body and my future self in my head while I'm working out. I see her body, I see how she feels. I see how she walks. I see how her clothes fit. I see how her confidence. And while I'm working out, I'm seeing that. And that's just a thought that I'm just keeping, that's fueling me while I'm working out. And then throughout my workouts, I'm thinking positive thoughts. I'm just trying to explain, like, I wanted to work out from thinking I wanted to work out, and I made it happen also from a thought. So, with that being said, thoughts connect to mental, and if you're not thinking happy, positive thoughts, which sometimes isn't always easy, everybody has their times and days where they don't have positive thoughts. I don't always have positive thoughts. It'd be a damn lie to act like I'm so sunshiny and I never think anything negative or think anything that bad. I'm a human being. I have no control over it, but I also do at the same time. So I'm just going to try to grasp as much control as I can, but also release what I cannot. And that is not up for me to control, because I'm just a mere human. But anyhow, so mental, you want to just realize that mental is your brain. And if you're not doing well up there and you're doing well everywhere else, it's really hard. Actually, it's really hard to do well everywhere else in all the other aspects if you're not doing well in mental. So with mental, I would just say practice. It just takes practice. Practicing those good thoughts, practicing envisioning, practicing thinking about what you want and how you want to do it. Actually thinking, and try positive thoughts. I'm not a mental health counselor. I'm not exactly sure how to tell you to get from a mental illness out. So I'm not here to say that. I'm just here to explain that mental is part of it. I just want to say that for disclaimer. So off of mental, then we go to I always forget. Social. Social is extremely important. We are social beings. We are human beings. If we weren't supposed to be social, we wouldn't have been put here with a bunch of other things to socialize with. And you guys know what has been going down during quarantine and how bored you guys have been and how you miss in-person interaction and how you just don't feel the same without it. And how it really hurts. It hurts inside, and you can't explain the hurt because it's just like, you're not around your homies. You're not around your aunts and your uncles and your cousins, and you're not outside barbecuing, and you're not in the house sharing stories, and you can't go to all the birthday parties, and it's rough. So when we don't have that social that we need, it definitely shows in our character and our personality and in our thoughts and feelings. So that is why social is important. Because you feel, I'm just connecting it to how everybody should feel right now with the fact that we can't be as social as we would like to be. That is an example of how that can take a damper on our health. And there's positive light on how social does explode our health. Like right now, I'm very excited to be socializing on the internet. It's really hard for me. I don't usually do this, but it's interesting. I still prefer in-person interaction, and that'll still be my number one for me. And I still try to make it happen, even with these dumbass masks that I have to wear, that I do wear. I wear them, but I hate them. But anyhow, social is important. I miss my friends. I miss my family members that I connect to that are scared to connect with me because of the coronavirus. So that's just a way. I just want you guys to see how social plays a part. So then we get off of social and we go to, I said emotional, spiritual, social, mental, and then the last one is, damn, how do I keep forgetting? I mean, I know there's 5, but geez. Physical. Everybody knows about physical. Physical is working out, is, getting your body right, getting your muscles right, everything's looking right from the outside. And one thing about physical that I want to say, it does take a lot of work. It is extremely important to be physically active and physically fit to be a part of health. With that being said, physical ties into having discipline. And discipline is extremely healthy when it comes to just life in general, because if you can't be disciplined, then you don't know what it feels like to have something and to not have it. Or to, I guess I shouldn't explain it like that. It should be more like, if you had everything that you wanted, you wouldn't understand the value of not having it. So I guess it's kind of hard to tie that into, your physical body. I'm trying to relate that because I'm just having a different kind of thought process when it comes to that. But discipline, you have to work towards your dream and get through that pain to see that body. So it's not going to be easy. And that's kind of what I'm trying to say is when you're given things, it's easy. And when you work for it, the reward is greater. And so that ties into your physical body, because as well as you having that physical where you can actually move, and if you need to do fight or flight, you can fight because you're physically fit, as well as you get to learn how to discipline yourself, how to find organization, how to find order, how to find maturity. And maturity is just being able to put a long-term goal before a short-term goal, because you don't just want temporary success, you want long-term success. And so I just hope that this is registering for why this is connected to how physical is important to health. I'm not quite sure if it is, but I hope my thoughts are translating well. I really do, because it's all connected. So with that being said, again, health is about physical, emotional, spiritual, here I go forgetting again, social, and emotional. You gotta figure out how to balance these 5 aspects of health before you can truly say that you are healthy. And that is my goal as being a health coach. I am going to break down those 5 things and figure out what key components are we missing of each of them, and how can we find a smooth balance. And that is your balance, not anybody else's balance. We're not looking at so and so trying to figure out how we get her body, how do we get her confidence, how do we get her hair. We're not doing none of that. We're trying to figure out how to get you to get your best hair, your best body, your best confidence, your best career, your best, not anybody else's. No. Yes, they can be inspiration, but they're inspiration for you to keep chiseling away on you and on your health, your true health. And that's why one of the key hashtags I use for my Water Me Media pages or any posts that I make is Realize True Health. And that came from a magic, as well as Change Your Water, Change Your Life. Because I had all these thoughts inside of me, and I had this health inside of me, but I didn't know where it was at, and I didn't dig it out until last year, March, and that was when coronavirus first happened. And then I also trickled a thing where I found out about Kangen water. So it combined it for me and exploded for me. This water literally came inside my body and changed my mind, and from my mind, everything else kind of followed. So that's my spiel on health. Like I said, I am practicing to be a health coach. My page is called Water Me Media because what we do here is we water ourselves through hydration, and through that we are able to sprout and to grow and to realize different things about ourselves and focus on us as a plant, and not, I know we are part of a garden, a community garden, but we cannot keep looking over at other people's grass and other people's seeds and other people's, genetics, trying to look at why are we not like that. We have to focus on us and being our best us. So like I said, that's what I do. Water Me Media, Realize True Health, Hydrate to Elevate. I always got my water on deck. I've been talking for almost 20 minutes and I have not taken a drink of water. I'm slacking. But anyways, so yes, Water Me Media, Hydrate to Elevate. You got to do this. I'm working on getting better. I'm definitely working on getting better. I'm not the picture of fucking health. I'm the picture of a person on a journey. And I appreciate y'all for watching. And I hope you take something from this. So yeah, thank you guys.